On this episode of Going for Pro, we're going to put the engine in the engine bay and finish all the wiring so we can get this car started and running. So stay tuned. So as you can tell, a lot of stuff has changed, especially with the wiring. I've been working a lot, and my wife, my awesome wife, did all the wiring for the wiring tuck. So that should be good. But we just have a couple more things to do, but first we need to get the engine in the engine bay and also remove all this stuff. So let's get to that, and the wiring on this side's also done. So a lot of progress has happened, and I'll update you while we go. So let's get to it.
I gave you everything, held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me.
So after 1 year exactly, we're going to start putting this engine back into the car. Luckily I had it covered, so there's nothing that's been really messed with it or paint or spill. So we're gonna hook this up to the, engine picker or cherry picker I call it, and put it back into the car. So let's get it. So luckily when I was, trading cars and whatnot back in the day, I picked these polyurethane bushings up. They're upgraded. They're going to make the car ride a little bit more. But because I don't have the braces I used to have in the engine bay, they're going to help the car out not shake as much and rattle it apart. So we're going to bolt those on real quick and make them look really good. It's going to be a good upgrade for this car. No matter what. So let's get to it and knock these out.
I believe the home was just you and me.
Since I got everything put on now on both sides, it's going to be kind of difficult, but luckily I can move them by hand, at least on this side. The other side is going to be a little bit more difficult of moving the engine mounts and putting them in. But we'll get to that. But next I'm going to do the oil filter. Since the engine's already up in the air, it's smart to already just do it and get all the wiring and everything, or not wiring, but all the hose clamps that you want to replace or change. Might as well do it now while it's in the air. So might as well do the oil filter. Going to do that right now, and then the engine's going to slowly get it put in. So as you can tell, the Miata engine is now sitting in there properly. I haven't bolted up the couple last bolts. There's 3 bolts underneath of the trans that need to be bolted up, and well, it's a bolt and a nut. So, well, 3 bolts actually, and there they are. Which sit underneath there, they bolt right up. It's easy, especially if you have a jack. Now it took me a while to getting this engine in, and as you can tell, I dinged up my paint, but I can fix that, and I'll show you how to do that later. But just trying to shoehorn it in there, it was just a pain in the ass, but it's in. It's perfectly where I need it to be. Everything lines up, as you can see down there and on the other side. And so I'm going to finish bolting everything up, and again, it's the next day because, well, it took me too long, and then I went to bed, and now I'm back at it. So we're going to finish bolting this up and then start running the wiring harness and all the lines to get everything finished in the engine bay. Hopefully you guys can see down here, but I got the axle done and the mounts that hold the transmission straight with the axle. So next we're going to be jumping over into the engine bay. The next step is putting in the brake booster, master cylinder, and everything else, and slave cylinder. So we're going to put those in. First I need to put the slave cylinder in because, well, it's going to be easier without the brake booster in the way. So I'm going to pull that back out. I just slid it in there, make sure I had it in the right spot. So going to put that on, then switch over to running all the lines inside the car, which is going to be kind of a pain just because it's in an awkward area. But we're going to get it done, making it look good. So let's get that. So I ended up getting the brake booster in. It took me a little bit. It's just a little bit more difficult than what I thought. There was a bolt that's in an awkward position. I had to drop the steering wheel line, so I had to drop this whole entire thing right there and get to it, but that was easy enough. Now we're going to mount this up and then start working on the windshield wipers and all the lines that go on top so we can start running the lines and whatnot. So it's been a couple days. I got really sick and I just couldn't work on the car, but this is what I got done, or I had done, to the vehicle while you guys were gone. So I ended up getting all these liners ran right there, so now I just putting on hoses. Also got the windshield wiper machine on, and also I got the brackets for it and a windshield in. So I got a new windshield. It looks awesome. Was gonna do it myself, but it was kind of difficult trying to find an actual windshield. So I ended up paying someone to do it. It looks amazing, and it's gonna be certified for its lifetime if it ever starts stress cracking or if it starts leaking. So that's perfect, that's fine, I'm happy with that. So let's get putting on to the AC condenser. That's what's going to be next. And also I'm going to put in the actual radiator. So let's get to that. I'm going to throw you guys on time lapse.
That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
So after that time lapse, I ended up getting the radiator in. Also got the AC condenser, and I also ended up getting the new starter from an NB in there. They're interchangeable. It's just one bolt's not going to be mounted. So I tightened up the other two, and they work great. Got my my power steering pump. Need to find a hook or my actual belt for it. But if I don't run with power steering, I just don't for right now. And also got that also, the actual where you put the fluid in there. And that's all I got done for right now. I'm going to come back later and we're going to end up doing a couple other things and just finishing bolting this thing up. Next we're going to be working on the AC lines. We need to get those put in. I'm not going to have AC directly straight out of the gate, but I am going to at least put these on there so I won't lose them. And I can put a little bit of oil in there and not burn up my pump and just not burn up my compressor. So let's throw these on there and we'll get to it. Because this is a customized car, it's going to be a little bit more difficult putting it in there. As you can tell, the wiring is not the way it was and everything else. But luckily I kind of have an idea of where it needs to go, and the brackets kind of help me out because, well, there's still clips on there in the sense that will match up with where they used to go, and also right here. And I can figure out something, maybe just drill a bolt in and make it work. So I just got the AC lines put in. They're not put in the best, but they're in. I just have everything connected so I know it's there, and I have 100% everything. So the AC lines are in. It was kind of difficult. I had to zip tie one part, make a bracket for another, but everything's hooked in, connected, and it's going to stay there, and it's not going to move, as you can tell. Some of the stuff's hand tightened, but it's there. That's the only thing I care about. And well, it's all connected, stabilized. It's not wiggling, not going to move, not going to hit the car. Just hand tightening a couple more things. Next, we're going to be working on the exhaust over here. I'm going to be grinding all this stuff down. As you can tell, my welds were really junky when I first started welding. So as you can tell, how it's all just gummed up. So we're going to be taking all that stuff out right there and moving it over and re-welding it. And same thing over here. Going to grind all this stuff down. As you can see, I already started. But we're going to finish it up, throw you guys on time lapse, and let's get to it. So as you saw there, I had to grind down a lot of metal. Luckily, I do have a welder, Don't have gas, so it's gonna not come out the best, but it's gonna be better than what it was. Learned a lot since I've been welding. So I'm gonna fire up this welder. We're gonna weld on this and get it done and then bolt it into the car.
I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know.
So as you can tell, I grinded all the like just rocks and whatnot, but it's all welded in, which is pretty awesome. And I slid the one all the way back there that I just got completed, which it went pretty good. Just grind some of it down, but you know what? It's time for some YouTube magic and to get the exhaust fully mounted. So hopefully this works. Ready, set, go. So I just got the exhaust finished. Everything's mounted up down low. Sadly, this block has a massive, that's just massively stripped right there for that actual bolt to go in, but everything else is in. I just need to put one more bolt right there that I just realized while I was recording this, but all the other bolts are bolted on. Exhaust is mounted, so that's another thing off the list. But yeah, that's amazing. So let's get on to something else. So that's going to be it for this video, y'all. We got a lot accomplished. We got a windshield in, we got the engine, we got a cooling system, and everything's connected. But next video we should have this car up and running and done. Or done for now. You know, you're going to always upgrade your car, but I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again, and remember, never give up. Peace.